Hello and welcome to the Creepy Kiki, Pride's weekly dissection of all things that go bump in the gay night. And I'm your co-host, editor-in-chief, Rachel Chateau. Last week, Queens of the Dead, the debut feature from queer filmmaker Tina Romero, made its world premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival to rave reviews. This horror comedy stars an iconic queer cast, including Katie O'Brien, Jack Haven, Cheyenne Jackson, Margaret Cho, Dominique Jackson, Nina West, and Jaquel Spivey. It sees a group of drag queens, go-go dancers, and queer club kids taking on a horde of the undead with just a crossbow, high heels, and some good old queer resilience. It's funny, joyful, gory, and gay, gay, gay. So in other words, I absolutely loved it. After the premiere, I caught up with Romero to talk about how the film was born out of both queer joy and tragedy, why her zombies are so hot, and a whole lot more. Was there ever a time where it was more of a straight up horror film, or was it always your intention to center queer joy?
It was always our intention to center queer joy.
There are so many times where it feels like the call is coming from inside the house in terms of all of the queerness is so representative and authentic to queer culture. One of the things in particular I thought about was there's a moment where things are maybe at their darkest, right? Where it feels like all hope is lost. And they have a dance party. Yeah. And I was thinking about how this is true, I think, throughout queer history, but there's this famous quote about it. I think it's Dan Savage that said this, but okay. The point is, it was that particularly during the AIDS crisis, we would fight all day and then we would dance all night. And it was the dancing that kept us going. It's what we fought for. And that felt to me like a little bit of maybe, if not direct inspiration, kind of speaking to something about queer culture in that moment. Am I
nailing
it?
Nailing it. And I love that moment read to you, that darkest hours when Drea turns to what she does and what she knows best and what the queer community knows how to do. And that's just been true over history and in my life. I talk a lot about my DJ persona, DJ Trix, who wears a rabbit mask, and the origin story of that rabbit mask was it happened the weekend after the Pulse nightclub shootings in Orlando. And I had a gig and I felt really weird about it. I felt like this is such a strange feeling to be going and playing a party and dancing after this tragedy. And I found myself roaming around 21st Street, and I went into my favorite store in New York City, Abracadabra, the costume shop. And this rabbit mask just called my name, and I answered it, and I picked it up, and I was like, okay, I'm going to wear this tonight. I don't know why. I need some armor. I need some kind of something to hide behind. And not only was my alter ego born that night because I played the best set of my life and I felt this transformation being in this character. I also realized that it was essential that we were doing what we were doing, that in the face of this tragedy, we were out together. We were not afraid to go out. We were not afraid to be queer and in a club dancing together with joy. And it really hit me hard, but it's such an important part of existing, resisting, being a community.
If there's anything zombie nerds love to do, it is to debate the zombie, right? What I love about yours is they're kind of fabulous. They're shiny. They're like a little silver. Talk to me about that choice to make them the way that they are.
Oh, well, Rachel, this is I knew from the beginning that I did not want to do hyper realistic zombies in ripped up denim and flannels. It just is a little boring for me. It's also, we have this movie about an outbreak on Saturday night in Bushwick. They're going to be fresh. They're going to be still in their Saturday night fashion. What are the kids wearing when they're going out and getting bit and turning into zombies? They're going to be in the look. And so I'm very excited to push okay, how can we make our zombies a little fabulous?
I want to ask about sort of the vibe on the set. The cast in this is just a queer gamest dream come true.
Oh my God, cast. That's unbelievable. Oh
what was it like? What was the mood on the set? What was especially in between takes? What was it like to be on set with so many amazing queer creatives?
Cheyenne and Jaquel both have voices of an angel. They're such singers, and they in between takes they were harmonizing together and just singing various beautiful slow songs as Jaquel was zipping into the bag, and just this, like, to me, this really captures. There was a lot of singing in between takes. There was a lot of singing. Nina West and Cheyenne would sing into the giant fan. There was a lot of, Nico would be dancing. Tomas would be dancing. Like, there was a lot of singing and dancing in between takes. Oh, yeah.
Do you have the horror bug? Are we getting more horror through the eyes of Tina Romero?
I have a lot of things I want to do. The thing that is like tickling my fancy the most is I really want to do a shark movie. It's like chompers are my favorite genre in so many ways. I just love watching people get destroyed by animals. Like Cocaine Bear was my favorite film of the year a few years ago.
Yes.
I could watch Jurassic Park and Jaws over and over and over again. Crawl.
Yes.
I love it all. And I am pretty excited about the concept of doing, like, how can I give the Queens of the Dead treatment to a shark chomper? Like, how can I do the queer ensemble,
Yeah.
gay version
Yeah.
of the shark chomper? That's like what I'm thinking about a lot.
Dying to see Queens of the Dead? I don't blame you. Next up, the film is headed to the Chattanooga Film Festival on June 22nd. That's it for us today. We hope you enjoyed this week's Creepy Kiki. To read my full interview with Tina Romero, visit pride.com, and we'll be back next week with more highlights on queer horror. And make sure you like and follow us for more queer news and pop culture content.